What's going on, fam? We are live on YouTube. I see I got 8 viewers here. If you're watching this video, say what's up in the chat. Let me know where you're from. I'm excited to be doing another live. Y'all know I get nervous when I do these. I don't know why, but I'm excited to be here. We're just gonna hang out tonight. Also gonna be doing a live Q&A. Y'all always ask me questions on Instagram here, so I just want to hop on here and answer your questions live and just see what's going on with y'all. And also, we're celebrating 10K. We reached 10K. I'm super excited about that. Couldn't have done it without y'all. So just want to come on here and just say thank you to y'all. And it's been a long journey. So super excited about the 10K milestone. If you're in the chat, say what's up, drop your name, drop your Instagram, let me know where you're from and what you got going on right now. And also, if y'all could let me know if this audio is good, I would greatly appreciate that because I don't want to have messed up audio. So if y'all could just give a thumbs up if the audio is good, I would greatly appreciate it. So we got somebody in the comments. Let's see. Royal Graphics, what's up? What's going on, man? So I'm just gonna wait a second, then see what comments come through, and we're gonna get straight into it. I already have some questions. I made a post on my community tab, and I told y'all to drop me any questions y'all have. So I'm gonna do first. I'm gonna answer those questions first, and then anybody who has questions after that, I'll do those after. Okay, we got some comments coming in. I don't. How do you pronounce that? Dengani Alexander. If I pronounced that wrong, I apologize. He's Biloxi, Mississippi, I think. That's what's up. That's what's up. I can't pronounce that either. Sorry, y'all. Hey, thanks for coming through. Okay, the audio is good. Royal Graphics said, "Can you message me on Instagram?" You have to message me, or just you could just drop me a comment right now if you have any questions about anything. But feel free to message me on Instagram. What's up, Mason? Atlanta, Georgia. Audio is on point. ATL in the building. My boy Scott coming through. Hello, A Train. What's going on, bro? Thanks for everybody coming through. I didn't even know if this was a good time to go live. If y'all like lives that are, I would say around noon versus later in the day, then let me know and I could start doing those around noon or earlier if I have to. I don't know what y'all like. Is it Dengani? Hopefully I'm saying that right. If I'm not, I apologize. He said you got it right. Okay. He said, what's a good way to send client photos? Okay, so I'm gonna get to that in a minute. We got some questions. Like I said, if you're watching this live, drop a comment. Don't be a ninja watcher and just watching and not saying nothing. You got to speak. When you come on the A Train live show, you got to speak. You got to say what's up. Okay. Royal Graphics said, can you tell us how to start photography? Okay, so I'm gonna get to y'all's questions once I answer the other questions first that I got on my phone. He said, should you include extras in your pricing for your package, like including the cost of travel, for example? Those are some great questions. I appreciate those questions. So I'm about to hop into my questions, but y'all can just let me know in the chat. How's it been going? If you have a photography business, how has that been going? What's your next shoot? Are you excited about it? What type of shoot will you be doing? Let me know what you got going on as far as photography in the comments. Okay, I'm gonna look at these questions real quick, y'all. While I'm doing that, y'all can just drop me a comment and let me know what y'all got going on. Just getting to these questions. Okay, so they got first dibs on questions. The people that drop some questions in my community tab. And if you're subscribed, pay attention to the community tab. I'm always dropping stuff in there. So make sure you're paying attention to that. Hopefully, y'all are seeing my stuff. So the first question I got is from Cover Girl Nay. I appreciate you for submitting a question. She said, what made you choose Sony over other camera brands? And I'm pretty sure a lot of people want to know this. As you can see, my Sony camera. So I chose Sony because I'm real big on research. Like if I'm getting into something new, I'm gonna do a bunch of research. And the main thing that I was seeing as far as camera brands was Sony. I even got on YouTube, watched some YouTube videos. I seen a lot of people saying a lot of great things about Sony. So I just looked at it like, okay, from my research and from other photographers, they're saying that Sony is, the best camera brand out for the most part. So that's why I went with Sony. My first Sony camera was a Sony A6000. Then I upgraded to the A6300, to the Sony A7 II, and now the A7 III. So that's why I went with Sony. And yeah, pretty much. And what I like about Sony is small cameras. Like this is the 6400. I use this for YouTube mainly, but I've started to do professional stuff with it. Um, I just love the size of them. They're small. They have a lot of good options as far as lenses. The autofocus is blazing fast. That's one of probably my main feature I like about Sony cameras is the autofocus, and you can shoot amazing video with Sony cameras. So I just feel like you can't go wrong with them. All right, y'all. I see y'all's questions. I'm just about to get to these questions first. So keep dropping your questions in the chat. Next question was from my Ada Robinson. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I'm butchering everything tonight. Man, it's been a long week, y'all. We've had all kinds of just stuff going on. It's been a long week. But I said I'm just gonna hop on here anyways, because I got to chat with my people. So she said, "How did you generate beginner pricing for weddings, packages, or hourly rates?" So how I started, as far as pricing with weddings, is once again I did a lot of research. I seen what people were offering where I live at. I didn't copy. I just kind of wanted to see what was out there. So what we do is we have a certain amount of hours per package. I think our first package is 6 hours. And I think after that, it's like a full day or something like that. I would have to check again. But our pricing is not just for the hours because it's a lot that goes into wedding photography. So if you are shooting weddings and you're just basing your packages off, okay, they want 6 hours. This package, I'm just going to base it off of 6 hours. Let's say 250 per hour times six, right? You're missing out and really undercharging in a sense because it's other stuff that you should be charging for as far as your time. For us, we send gifts. We include that into the pricing. Editing, sometimes we outsource editing. We include that into the pricing. You have to think about taxes. If you're going to be renting gear, if we do that, we include that into the pricing. So the base price comes from the hours, and then we just add on based on time and all these other things that I just mentioned. So that's how I do it. I know everybody does it differently, but it's worked for us so far. All right, we got a lot of questions coming through. I'll see y'all's questions. I just got to get to these first. And I'm pretty sure all of y'all can get value from these questions, and you probably have the same questions. So Mark asked me, he said he really wants to push forward with boudoir photography. He wants to focus on 30-year-olds. He said, I have to completely revamp my social media, including Instagram. If I am going for a regular non-model that's 30 and over, how do I or where do I market to them? I'm tired of having Instagram loaded with other male photographers and models that don't even engage on my accounts. And he said, love your channel. Mark, huge fan of the channel. I see you a lot in the comments. Just want to say, appreciate your question. So I'll be honest with you, Mark. I don't know anything about boudoir. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Photography. But you're saying you're trying to market. You don't know where to market to them. So here's something you could do. Personally, what I would do, this is something that would be help you out a lot, is I would reach out to a experienced boudoir photographer in your area, and I would ask him if he has any mentorship or coaching. Um, that's like the best way you can fast track your success, right? If you're just new and you don't know what to do, is go to somebody who's where you want to be. And they can teach you the game, right? See, I can't teach you this because I don't know about boudoir photography. I don't know anything about it, but going to somebody who's experienced in this field, and they're doing what you want to do, I think you can't go wrong with that. But it's just as far as just like general marketing. I mean, you could do social media, of course, utilizing hashtags, locations, even just connecting with people. I think a lot of people, they just get on social media and they just post and they're like, oh, I'm not getting bookings. It just isn't working. But I think looking at social media in a different way helps, and looking at it like, how can I build connections with people? How can I just connect with people, right? Like start genuine conversations. I think that's something that that works even better as far as social media. So hopefully I answered that question. Um, I see y'all's questions in the chat. I got a couple more, and then I'm gonna get to y'all in the chat. Rodney Nelson want to say appreciate you for dropping a question. He said if you had to decide powerful light with high speed sync or wider 1.4 prime for portraits, man, that's a great question. I probably have to go for a powerful light. Um, to me, the 1.4 for portraits, I like shooting with the, blurry background. I like the 1.4, 1.8, but having a light, you could just do so much more. So I feel like I could get more out of having the light versus the 1.4 aperture on the lens. I don't think that's not like a big deal to me. Is having a 1.4 aperture. I could live with the 2.8. So that's my answer to that. I got a couple more, and then we're gonna get in the chat. Brandon Stanberry, thanks for submitting your question. He said, how do you stay motivated when you're not getting a lot of business? This is a question that I get a lot. I've had other people send me the same question. Um, and this is a tough one. How do you stay motivated, excuse me, when you're not getting business? I'm not gonna lie, it's tough, right? Me and my wife have experienced a lot of up and downs. Really, that's what having a photography business, it can be like that. Any kind of business, you're gonna have highs, you're gonna have lows. So how do you stay motivated? I think this comes back to your purpose and why you started, and knowing that I'm invested in this even through the tough times, right? I'm not giving up, and I'm just going to keep pushing. And something you can do when you're not getting a lot of business is just shoot for, I always tell people, just shoot for yourself, right? You don't have to be getting business all the time. Okay, you're not getting business. Well, just do creative shoots of stuff that you want to do. And I think that can spark something and spark that motivation again, because you're doing just creative stuff and not client work, because client work can get boring and it can get very repetitive. And I talked about this in a recent video. So that's my advice for that. And Brandon had another question. He said, also, should you stay in one field, or should you kind of learn everything and shoot different types of photography like models, family, weddings? That is a great question, Brandon. So he says, should you stay in one field, or should you learn everything? I think when you're first starting out, you definitely want to do everything and experiment. And I say this, and some people may disagree, but I think when you're first starting out, you don't really know what you want to do. So it makes sense to do a lot of different types of photography to see what you really like. Because you may just do let's say you're just doing families, and you brand your business like that, in everything, right? And then you realize later on, you're like, I don't even really like this that much, right? And you didn't really try anything else. Now you're kind of stuck. Now you got to revamp everything versus being open to trying new things and doing it for a while to really see what you really enjoy doing. And especially with me, I've noticed that certain stuff I don't really like it no more as much as I used to, like, right? So and that came from doing other stuff, and I've recently kind of fell in love with product photography, and I think it's perfect for just what I like, and I've really been pushing with that. I actually have a video coming about that. So I recommend just trying everything in the beginning to see what you really like. And also, when you're trying a bunch of different things, it's I feel like it's hard to master one thing, right? So I think that's where niching down really helps you become a better photographer at that specific niche, because that's all you do every single time. So it's a given that you're going to get really good at it. Versus if you're trying to do a lot of different things, you're not going to really be great at everything. I it just I feel like it doesn't work like that. Um, I'm not saying you can't be good at a lot of different things, but you're not. It's going to be tougher to be great because you do a lot of different things, right? Okay, so last question. Then we're gonna get in the chat and we're just gonna hang out. Brittany Spell Durham, thank you for submitting your question. She said, what do you guys use to track your business expenses? There are many options as well as a simple spreadsheet, but I'm trying to narrow it down to something easy and efficient. So I do this the hard way. I just track everything myself. We don't have a lot of business expenses. We're not like a huge business, like some of these photography businesses you see. So for me, it makes sense to just do everything myself. So I just track it on a simple spreadsheet. And maybe that's a hard way to do it, but that's just how I do it right now. And everything is pretty simple because all of our expenses and subscriptions and stuff that we use for the business, they have everything in one spot as far as our payments and stuff like that. So it makes it easy to keep up with that stuff. And her second question, she said, when you first started, did you immediately establish an LLC or did you operate as a different business entity? Example, sole proprietorship. Insight on what is best choice. This is a great question. So um, I'm not a legal tax professional. So just putting that out there, right? This is just my advice. So what I did personally, I didn't I just did a bunch of research before we did this. So we're LLC. And the reason I went LLC is because it separates you from the business. So your personal assets and the business are separated, right? So if you choose sole proprietorship, I think that you don't have that protection. Your personal assets aren't separated. So if something happens, let's say you get sued and you're a sole proprietorship, you don't have that protection like you do with an LLC. So that's the easiest way I can explain it. That stuff is it's hard to explain, but I know a lot of people have that question. I've had other people ask me that question, but and I would say to start this as soon as possible. And I say that because you don't want to get in any legal trouble or anything like that. And I'll be honest with y'all, we didn't start this as soon as we started our business, and that was a mistake because what if something happened? You have to be business minded and think of, you know, pretty much covering yourself on all bases on the legal side, just in case anything happens, because you may think nothing will ever happen, but something's bound to happen. So that's my best answer to that question. All right. So we're going over to the chat. Who we got? Let's see. I got a lot of comments. Let me run through these. We're just gonna hang out and I'm gonna answer y'all's questions. It's been a while since I got on here. Just want to chat with y'all. Um, Dengani said, "What's a good way to send client photos?" So what I use is Shootproof. I talk about it in a lot of my videos. A lot of y'all have signed up through my referral link. I appreciate that. So yeah, that's what we use. I love it. So I would definitely check them out. Um, Royal Graphics said, "Can you tell us how you start photography?" So I'm assuming you're asking how I started. So how me and my wife actually run this business together. How we started is I used to be a personal trainer. I was doing a lot of content. I was doing online training, all that stuff. So my wife was always taking photos of me, branding photos for my brand and my online business. So we were kind of already in that space of taking photos. So we were like, why won't we just start a photography business? We already understand cameras. We have the gear. So that's pretty much how we started, and we haven't looked back since. So um, then Gani Alexander says, should you include extras in your pricing for your packages, like including the cost of travel, for example? Yes, yes. Um, Here's the thing, y'all. Include everything in your pricing. Let me tell y'all what is a huge mistake. When you price and you just price based on the digitals. So let's say you're delivering 10 digitals and you're charging 20 per digital, and that's your final price. Like, you have to keep in mind it's a lot of other things, especially when you're trying to be profitable, that you have to include into your pricing. You have to include time, planning, your softwares. You have to think also you're probably going to want to upgrade gear. So that's stuff you need to work into your pricing also. And if you want to learn more about pricing, I would check out my photography business starter kit. I'll show y'all. It's just 23 bucks, and I have a photography pricing masterclass, and I go over all this stuff. So it should be linked in my description, but you definitely want to work everything into your pricing for sure. Um, let me take this off. Let me get back in these comments. Sky said, I think it's best at night because people are home rather at work. Okay, that's good to know. Then Gani said, just did a Euphoria themed shoot. That's what's up. That's what's up. Send me some photos, man. Follow me on Instagram at Adrian Lard Photo. I would love to see some images from that shoot. Sky said around these hours. Royal Graphics said, I want to start a photography business, but I need training. Man, it's so much that goes into it. I would recommend that starter kit. That's a good place to start. I have a lot of resources in there. I touch on a lot of the basics that are going to help you when you're first getting started. Other than that, check out the content on my channel. I have a bunch of content. People could tell you in the chat who've been following for a while that can help you out with that. Then Gani coming through with the questions, man. I love it. He said, how do you pick a good lens for you, like knowing how to pick one? That's a great question. That's a really good question. So for me personally, when it comes to picking lenses, I'm just usually thinking like, what do I need and what am I shooting the most? And also what do I like, right? So I like longer focal lengths, like 85 millimeters and up. So probably my next lens purchase, it'll probably be the 70 to 200. I'm eyeing that one, but I don't want to drop the money on it because it's so expensive. But and that goes with everything that I shoot. I like shooting up close portraits, weddings, and things like that. So I would think you have to pick something that goes with your niche of photography and just what you need. If I'm buying a lens, I'm not buying something just to buy it. I'm probably buying it because I need it. Um, I don't like to waste money on gear and it's just sitting there. Like the stuff I have, I'm using everything. So hopefully that answered your question. Uh, Ka- Ka- Kawanisha, hopefully I'm saying that right, man. Y'all bear with me. It's been a long week. She said, I just started my business this week. I got my LLC. Let's clap it up for her. That is a big deal. Congratulations on that. Um, then Gani said, do you have a Narbox? No, I don't. I've heard of them, but I do not have one. Then Gani said, how do you enforce your contracts so you don't have to worry about people backing out, not in a rude manner? Laughing emoji. That's a great question. That's a really good question. So, as far as people backing out, what you want to do and how we used to have that issue in the beginning stages. So, what we did is we started charging a non refundable retainer, right? So this is a portion of the full package cost, but it's non-refundable. So once we started doing that, we didn't have, excuse me, we didn't have any issues anymore because people were putting their money, giving away their money. So they're gonna show up. Now, when you're not doing stuff like that, I feel like you're more prone to having people not show up and things like that. Also, we have stuff in our contract like late fees and showing up on time for your shoot and stuff like that. And it's pretty much our clients have to sign a contract. They have to read each thing and they have to sign it. So we really don't have to enforce it too much. It just helps that they have to sign it. And you could, this is why I recommend Shoot Proof, y'all. You can do all this stuff. It's like the all-in-one business tool that's going to help you run your business with contracts. And you can send everything digitally, and it's super easy and it looks professional. I have a link in the description. It's not an affiliate link. It's just a referral link if you want to check it out. Sky said, what about food photography? It seems people don't have interest in it, and I wonder why. Um, that's a yeah. Food photography, I've seen some photographers, especially on Instagram and even on YouTube that are killing it with food photography. Man, I'm telling y'all, if you're looking to pivot, and y'all know with this pandemic, it's just kind of changed everything, especially for us. It just kind of messed up everything. If you're a wedding photographer, it affected that industry a lot. But something that is really in demand right now, and something that me and my wife are doing is what do you call it, branding photography, just doing photography for businesses, even food photography, because you have restaurants and different places who need content, and as a photographer you can create that content. So I got a video coming about that, but just something to look out for, that's really in demand, and I think it's going to keep growing as time goes on for sure. Kamanisha said, "What advice would you give a person that just got their LLC but no folio or gear, no portfolio or gear?" I think that's what you're saying. Um, so you have no gear, no portfolio. As far as gear, what I would do, I would just start saving up money. Even if you have to do some kind of side hustle, you don't have to have a lot of money to get gear. Like you can get budget gear and create great work, and that's something that I really want to promote on the channel. Like you don't need no crazy amount of gear to do great work, right? Um, I don't have the most expensive cameras. I mean, they're not super cheap, but they're not the top end cameras. I got the A7 III, A6400. There's better cameras than that. 16 millimeter, 85 millimeter. That's more of a budget lens. It's more on the cheaper side for Sony lenses. So you don't need a lot, but I would get on a side hustle, start saving so you could purchase some gear. As far as building your portfolio, I would start shooting for free. I'm a huge advocate of shooting for free, especially when you're just starting out. I know some people may disagree with that, but you got to find a way to get your foot in the door, and build your portfolio. And I think shooting for free is the best way to do that. Um, Dingani said, "I'm learning more into creative shoots, face glow paint, flower crown. I'm also doing a rebranding alongside it. What would be a good way to get clients as I'm shifting and getting the ones like that?" I'm leaning more into creative shoots. I'm also doing a rebranding. What would be a good way to get clients? Okay, so how I'm gonna answer this? If y'all are trying to get clients in a specific niche, you really have to do your research in that niche to find out, like, first off, what these people like, um what are they paying for that type of work, and where are these people at. So I think that's a good way to start when it comes to trying to figure out, okay, where are these clients at. And a lot of us have that issue. That's an issue that I struggle with big time. It's like, where do I find these specific clients? And that comes from really knowing these clients, what they like, what they're attracted to, building something that attracts them, that speaks directly to them. So when I say that, I mean your website, your social media, is it speaking directly to those clients? Because if it's not, they're not going to be interested. So you have to make sure all this stuff is lined up. And lastly, where are these people at? Are these people on Facebook? Are they on LinkedIn? Are they just not even on social media? And you have to get out and network. I think that's a good place to start, is doing your research on these clients, and figuring out their interests, and where they're at. Let's see what else. Shy TV, thanks for coming through, bro. Appreciate you. Kawanisha Jones, she said, or Honeybooks. I personally do not use Honeybooks. I think, but I've seen a lot of people that talk about it, especially on YouTube. People are promoting it. It seems to be a good software to have, to help you run your business. I know you could do stuff such as like setting up workflows, sending pricing, contracts, all that stuff, and just keeping up with your clients and running your business. So I think it's good, but I personally don't use it. Um, CMOB, what's going on? What's going on? Um, then Gani said, "Are you doing any Halloween projects?" I might, man. I like to do creative shoots on Halloween, not even like client stuff, just a shoot for myself and just something creative. So hopefully we got time to make that happen, man. It's just we got a lot going on right now. So we'll see. I'll let y'all know. Um, Terrence Smith, thanks for coming through, bro. He said how to set pricing. I already kind of covered this already, but if you want to learn more about pricing, I would definitely check out my photography business starter kit. I have a link in the description for that. I have a pricing masterclass in there, and I break down just everything I know about pricing. Simo said, I shoot two different genres, boudoir and fine art portraits. Should I set up two separate businesses since one includes kids? That's a great question. I think that's a dilemma that a lot of photographers have. It's like, on this end, I want to shoot families, but I also want to shoot weddings. Like, how do I do these? Like, do I put them together? Should they be separate? Um, I think you can have things together when they're similar, right? But when they're completely different, to get the best out of your situation with whatever you're trying to do, I think it's best to separate the two if they're completely different. And I say that because I'm thinking in terms of messaging, right? Your website. It's hard to speak to many different clients, right? I think you just have a better chance of having that website speak to one type of client, one type of niche, versus multiple niches. It's hard. It's just harder to market when you're marketing to so many different niches of photography. So if they're different, I would recommend having two different websites. But if they're similar, like I think family, maternity, and babies, those are kind of similar. I think those kind of play off of each other. So I think you can have stuff like that together, but something that's completely different, I would separate the two. T Mid, no doubt. What's up? What's going on, bro? Thanks for coming through. Um, then Gani said, how much gear is too much for a shoot and how much is too little? Man, the longer I've been doing this, I my wife knows I keep stuff simple, right? I used to be that guy. I used to bring a bunch of stuff to shoots, a bunch of strobes, a bunch of modifiers. Now I got my stuff down to where it's like, okay, I'm bringing my 42-inch glow, I'm bringing my 85 and probably my 45, two cameras. I like to bring a backup camera, and that's about it. Maybe one strobe or something like that. So I think just bringing what you need, and I'm also a big fan of bringing having backup gear because you never know what's going to happen. And I've been in situations where stuff has gotten broken. So you definitely want to have backup gear, especially like a backup camera, a backup lens, just in case something happens. Christopher Rodriguez, thanks for coming through, bro. He said 13 people in the chat, but only 8 likes. Come on, viewers, let's get the likes up. You heard Christopher, man. Let's get the likes up. Let's get some likes for reaching 10K, man. I'm super excited about that. And appreciate y'all's support. Y'all just I've been blown away by y'all support, man. Honestly, all the comments, all the likes, the messages, it means a lot for real. Plus D Bailey, thanks for coming through. He said, is information about contracts in your starter kit? I'm looking to start requiring contracts for my clients. So I don't have like contract templates in there. I know you see a lot of people selling contract templates, but I do have resources of places where you can get contracts. So hopefully that answered your question. Then Gani said, do you do a pre-consultation beforehand to plan it with them, whether face-to-face or video chat? So me and my wife do video consultations for weddings. We've started like that and they work great for us. We're real big on planning, building connections, and just that in-person conversation, man. Um, a lot, some people shy away from that, but that stuff, man, when you can sit in front of a client and explain your value, listen to what they have to say and what they truly need, I just feel like your chances of booking that client just skyrocket. Even a phone call. Like I'm talking about people who just send emails versus people who actually talk to people. Like our booking rate when we're consultations and talking on the phone, it's up there, man. Like we know and we're confident that if we talk to you, we can get you booked. I would go that route. Even if you're shy, I would still go that route and just get out there and try it and practice. You can't get better unless you're trying it, right? Then Gunny said, have you ever done light painting? If so, how do you ensure that the person in the photo isn't blurry? Do you take a normal one or and then do a long exposure and stack them? I've never done light painting, so I can't answer that question. I've never done it. Um, Justin Hearn, thanks for coming through. He said, "Did you deal with the fear of failure in the beginning?" Yes, I still do. you know, I've talked about this in my other live. I was talking about mindset, and that's something that I even want to talk about more on the channel because if you don't have the right mindset, you're not going to succeed at this, right? Let's say you have a mindset of, oh my goodness, you're thinking like, oh my God, I can never book anybody. Oh my God, my photo shoots always suck. Like that type of mindset is toxic. Like you're going to reach a point to where you don't even believe in yourself. And then if you don't even believe in yourself, you can't even perform, right? It's going to affect that too. So, um, I've really, this is something that I practice constantly telling myself, it's okay if you make mistakes. Not just looking at what I'm doing wrong, not really nitpicking myself all the time. I used to do that a lot. Like I would get back from a shoot and I would just nitpick my photos. I would just talk about the things I did wrong, but switching my mindset, what did I do right? What did I do better this shoot? Like those things make a big difference. But it's something that I still deal with and I'm still working on. But you definitely got to work on that mindset. Just as much as you work on your skills, you should be working on your mindset. Okay, we got some weird comments in the chat. I don't know who this is. You about to get blocked. I don't know what are you talking about. Simo said thank you. Of course. Um, Plus D Bailey said, "Is there information about contracts in your starter kit?" I love your videos, by the way. I think I answered that. I have a resource in there on where you can get contracts, but I don't have any like contract templates or anything like that. Then Gani said, "How do you find photo shoot locations, or do you just find different ways to use existing ones?" That's a great question. So, what me and my wife do is we scout. We have days where we just go out and scout locations, and that's how we find locations. It's pretty simple, man. That's something else that like I used to overthink. I'm like, oh, I got to have this extravagant location. Now I'm more so, I look at locations differently. Like I don't look at a location as a whole. I'm just looking at small areas, and I know that I can work with a small area. Um, and that's been a game changer for me. Then Gani said, "How do you turn a client into a recurring client?" That's a great question. Let me get some water. Man, my throat is so dry right now. Okay, so how do you get a recurring client? Great customer service. I would say focus on that. Focus on creating a great experience, being just a nice person, and just giving your client great customer service. Like even like with places that me and my wife love, they all have a similar trait, and it's great customer service. And that's what keeps us coming back. It's not always about the product or the service. It's it's about the customer service. Like, how did this place make me feel? How was I treated? You know what I'm saying? That's what I look at personally. But I think for the clients that we've had come back, it's just because they enjoy working with us. They like our customer service. We treat them like family. Dengani said sent the Euphoria photos on Instagram for later. Okay, cool. Sunbeam Dream One, thanks for coming through. He said, I have a Canon M50. Um, what's a good lens for street photography or portrait? I have a 15 by 45 and a 50 mil. I used to have the Canon M50, but I sold it. For street photography and portraits, I would say maybe something like a 35. Um, I'm not sure about all the lenses for the M50. I think I had when I had it, I had the 22 millimeter. Um, but for portraits, I would think something like a 50, a 85, something like that. Then Gani said, "How do you prep for a shoot like 30 before go time?" That's one thing me and my wife do. We all for every shoot we get there early. You know, I feel like if I get to a shoot and I immediately start shooting when I get there, it's not going to be a good shoot. I need to get there early, just kind of scout a little bit more, figure out where I'm going to place the clients. And it just makes that's just my flow of how I like when it comes to photo shoots. I like to get there early so I'm not stressed, I'm not rushed, and I could just kind of just check out everything before the client comes. CMOB said light painting, have the person stand as still as possible, choosing a simple and comfortable pose. An alternative, double exposure, and add the one with the person sharp in Photoshop. So the person that asked about light painting, Simo just answered that. I like that. Y'all interact in the chat. If you can answer a question or something that I missed or could just help, feel free to put it in the chat, of course. Anto, thanks for coming through. Hopefully, I pronounced that right. He said you can use any lens for street photography. It's all about perspective. That's a great. Yeah, I agree. Dengani said, do you pick the photos that the client are getting, or do you let them? And if some of them aren't good, you explain why those aren't blurry photos unless they want. That's a good question. So we let the client pick. I don't think it makes sense for the photographer to pick the client's photos. I could see a client get mad about that because they want to pick what they like, right? And as far as the ones that aren't good, I'm not, those aren't even going to make the gallery. That's just opening up a disaster. So all the bad photos that aren't in focus, photos that just don't look good, I wouldn't even send those to the client. I would, heck no, I would not do that at all. That's not going to end well. So just only deliver your best photos. Sunbeam Dream said, what is one piece of advice you would recommend for any photographer? Man, great question. That's a tough one. One piece of advice for any photographer. I would say just keep going. Just keep going and don't be so hard on yourself. Um, that's my best advice. And as far as keep going, like just don't give up. Like photography, even if you go into the business side of it, it's a journey, man. It's gonna be rough times. You just gotta keep going. Find what you love to do and just stick with it. And don't be so hard on yourself. We've all had bad shoots, things that go wrong, clients that may not be happy. It's just part of this journey. You just gotta learn to keep moving forward and not dwelling on stuff. Dengani said, how do you find models to collab with? I use Instagram. I think Instagram is the best place nowadays to find models. I search hashtags. So I'm from College Station, so I'll probably search College Station models or surrounding area, Houston models, something like that, and you'll find a bunch of models. All you have to do from that point is just DM them, and a lot of them they looking to shoot. So that's what I do. No Flavor Imaging, thanks for coming through. He said, any recommendations or tips for ranking with SEO? Great question. I want to pop up when someone searches for photographers in my area. That's a great question. So something you can do for SEO, right, is I would start a Google My Business. So these listings, this Google listing, they actually show up. These are the first things that show up before the websites, right? So we get a lot of traffic from that Google My Business listing. And I talk about this in my photography business starter kit. So that's another reason to do it, to check it out. But I would start there. And as far as just ranking your site, I would recommend hiring a SEO specialist to just help you with that. You have to realize, like, as a photographer, you can't do everything. Like, you can't be the SEO specialist, the editing specialist, all those things, the tax specialist. I'm real big on just hiring professionals to do the job for me. It takes a lot of stress off your back, and that they specialize, so they know exactly what to do. But something else, a quick tip that you could do for your website is to you want to put your keywords on your images. So what some people do when they upload images to their website is they don't actually put the keywords in it. I would pick keywords because your images can show up and rank on Google too. if you have those specific keywords in your images. So it could be like Houston photography or Houston portrait or something like that. Your images can rank also. So I would go through your images and make sure they're labeled right on your website. Simo said model mayhem and Instagram work for me in finding models. Yep. Anto said, what do you think about the Sony A7R4? I'm assuming. Man, I'll be honest with you, man. I'm not the super camera guy. I don't pay attention to every new camera that comes out. I don't really know too much about the R4. Like I just try not to get caught up in it too much because I used to be like that and focused on gear so much. Now I don't know a lot about the newest gear and all that stuff. I just stick with what I got. um Then Gani said, good way to ensure that your shutter speed doesn't slow down after holding the shutter button. Um, it shouldn't change unless you change it manually. So hopefully that answers your question. Like you can manually make it faster or you can make it slower. Um, let's see what else we got. Emayola, hopefully I said that right. Thanks for coming through. He said, what's the best light setup for small photography studio? Great question. For a studio, I'm always using my Godox TT685. So I'm usually using that as a background light or like a rim light. For my main lights, I'm using the Godox AD400 Pro or I'm using the Godox AD200. And as far as my softbox, I'm probably using the my 42 inch. Y'all see me. I have a whole review about it. I'm using that, but I have a new softbox that I'm loving. It's actually right here. Um, I don't know if y'all could see that. Maybe I could bring it a little bit. Yeah, I can't show y'all the whole thing, but it's also from Glow because y'all know I love that brand, but it's a lantern softbox. So what it does is it shoots light everywhere. So this is lighting up the whole room in a sense versus the other soft boxes I have, they're more directional. This one, it has light going everywhere. And I've been loving it. And I'm going to talk about it more in an upcoming video. Dengani said, do you watch Peter McKinnon and John Branch photography? I used to watch Peter McKinnon. I haven't watched his content in a while, but I do watch John's content. He makes really good content. I would recommend checking him out if you're a wedding photographer because that's all he talks about. He does really good work and he's a good content creator for sure. Mason J12, thanks for coming through. He said practice. I think that was to that question about advice for new photographers. Definitely want to practice, 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 practice. Do not listen up, y'all. Do not be the person that just comes on YouTube and you just on YouTube all the time, but you're not applying anything, right? So don't be that guy. Like you have to go out in the field and apply what you're learning. Um, that's my advice. Excuse me. Dengani Alexander said, do you build the client's outfits, like recommend what to buy or go based on what's in their wardrobe? So we actually have a my wife, she's usually talking to the clients and stuff. So she will give them advice. I think she has a Pinterest board where she has some images to help with client outfits. And we also have a guide that we send. Those are good for educating your clients, sending them guides. Let's say you do headshots, you could send them a guide on what they should wear, what they can expect. Education is big, and I think this helps with just making sure the client understands everything and y'all are on the same page and they're prepared. So you have to be that person that's going to educate your clients. Sebastian, thanks for coming through, bro. He said, thank you for the Q&A. I shoot with the A7 III and I always have noise problems even at 400 ISO outside. Any idea what that can be? Man, that is weird. The Sony A7 III is amazing in low light. Like I've gone as high as 4,000 ISO and the images are usable. So 400 is really low. I'm not sure why that's going on. Maybe the camera is messed up or something, but it should not be a lot of noise at just 400 ISO with the A7 III. So something is wrong for sure. I would definitely get that camera checked out. Then Gani said, "I'll be in Houston this weekend, and that's where I was born." Hey, that's what's up, man. I need to come to the H, and I'm from College Station, but I need to come to Houston, man, and just network with some other photographers. So if we have any other H Town photographers in the chat, let me know. Simo said, "I just purchased the AD 400 you suggested." That's what's up. That's what's up. She said, "But I haven't tried it yet. How many shots can I get full power? The specs say something like 700. Can I believe it? Should I get an extra battery?" I'm not sure off the top of my dome, but I will say, because I've used it so much, that the battery life is amazing. It's amazing. And I don't have an extra battery because I've never really needed one. Um, Unless you're just shooting a whole bunch or you just want to have a backup, then I would get an extra battery. But do you need it? I don't think you need it. The battery is pretty dang good for sure. Dengani said for the shutter, I'm holding the button down and I can hear it, but after a while I can hear it slow down even though I'm holding the button. SD card issue, write speed. That could be it. I'm not 100% sure on that. If anybody can answer that question in the chat, um, help him out with that question. Anto said, "Do you think 24 megapixels is enough? I'm using the R4 and the 60 megapixel buffer. Sometimes get super slow, especially at a wedding." I personally think 24 is more. It's perfect. It's perfect. You see with some of these cameras, like 60 megapixels and stuff. Uh, I just think it's overkill. Like 24 is good enough, in my opinion. Um, Emola said, "Which one do you prefer, outdoor or indoor photography?" Man, that's tough. I mainly shoot outdoor, but I love indoor too. I love studio photography. Um, and I like that it's in a controlled setting. When you're outside, you have to deal with different elements, the weather, the wind. When you're shooting studio, you don't have to worry about that. So I like that. And I like personally, I do studio work in my own home, in the garage or in the living room. And it's convenient. I like it. But I mostly shoot outdoor. Then Gani said, thoughts on mood boards and how do you plan poses? Have a few go-to default poses. Already have some planned based on the shoot. Um, Posing, that's a great question. So as far as posing, it took us a while to really get the hang of that. But what I do is now I've developed like base poses. Like these are poses that I don't even have to think about it no more. They're just second nature. I know if I have a couple, I know, five poses that I want to get at the start of the shoot. So for me, I just start with base poses and I work off of those. So if I have like them holding hands, I'm just going to be changing up little things to get a different variety of shots. And for me, that makes posing easy versus changing them around so much. I'm just thinking more so of like what little things can I tweak within this base pose to get a different look, or even with myself, just moving around and getting a different angle. So that's how I do with posing. Like I don't even look at poses anymore. um, I used to do that a lot, but it just kind of slowed me down, and I was always trying to remember poses. Now I think it's smart to have your base poses and just work off of those. I think for me that makes posing a lot easy. Well, a lot easier. Andres, thanks for coming through. Um, he said H Town photographer in the building. Okay. What Lightroom Photoshop size settings do you recommend to upload crisp pictures on social media? That is a great question that man, I'll be honest with y'all. When I save photos, I would have to look at my settings, but I'm not doing some crazy settings. I've seen people say they save a certain way and size and stuff like that. I don't do none of that. And my photos look fine. And I haven't had like clients say anything or any issues when I upload them to social media. So that's the best I could answer that. Dengani said, "What is your photo backup system?" So I have like 3 hard drives, and I back up photos to each hard drive. So I have backups just in case anything happens. I think something you could do that wouldn't be a good idea is just putting all your photos on one hard drive, because you have to think, what if something happens to the hard drive? You don't have any backups. So I would recommend going out purchasing multiple hard drives, um, just so you have your photos on multiple places. Um, Emola said, "Can you share with us your bad experience in your photography career?" That's a great question. Let me get some water. A bad experience. I haven't had any like very bad experiences. Um I'm trying to think of something really really bad. Like I'm never like just bombed a shoot to where it was terrible. Well, I guess early in my career, I think me and my wife were doing, it was a family shoot, and I had a lot of photos that were out of focus. I was new and I was still learning. Excuse me. And the client wasn't too happy about it, but she didn't like go crazy. She just said she thought the photos would be better or something like that. So that's probably like the worst experience I've had. Could have been a lot worse. Darrell, thanks for coming through. He said, "How do you find people to practice on, so you can start improving and start being comfortable slash good enough to book clients?" We've already talked about this a little. Instagram is a great place. Um, you can find models there, even going to your family and friends. I've done a lot of practice, photographing family and friends. Just tell them, "Hey, I'm trying to build my portfolio. Would you want to do a free shoot with me? In exchange for your time, I can give you free images." That's what I would do. Thanks for coming through. He said, "Hi, Adrian. I've spent the last 2 years on fundamentals and buying, learning good equipment. How do I get my first paid gig? Any subject, portrait, wedding, etc. Just want to make $1 for now. Thanks in advance." So I would recommend checking out my starter kit. Let me put that on the screen. I have a lot of good information in there. What you should say to get new clients, how to make money off of shooting for free, how to market yourself. I think that would help a lot. I even go into pricing, setting up your website. I really made that for beginners and stuff that I didn't know. So I think that would be a good place. But I also have some videos on the channel where I talk about this. So I would browse around the channel and check out some of those how to get client videos for sure. Let me take this off. All right, we're going back to the comments. Then Gotti, man, I'm gonna have to send you like some kind of gift or something, man. You are killing it with the comments, the engagement. I love it. Um, he said, "What's your funniest photography experience?" The funniest, man. I think my wife would probably say this. We had this one shoot. This was with my wife's friend. Once again, I was just starting out and I was so nervous. I was shaking so much. And my wife's friend told her after the shoot she could see me shaking. So I think that's funny. And my wife she was messing with me about it. I was just so nervous, man. It was a huge family shoot and I was still in that learning stage. So just me shaking and kind of slurring my words. I think that was kind of funny. Simo said, "Sorry, little stinker needs to go to bed." Thank you so much, Adrian, and everyone for the awesome questions and answers. Good night. Thanks, Simo. It's good to see you again, and thank you so much for coming through. I hope you have a good night. Dengani said, "Do you play music during your photo shoot?" I've done it. I've done it like one time, but I haven't done it since. It's just not my thing. But I see some people that they do it, and it makes it easier. For the clients, I guess, in the whole experience. Um, Shy TV said, "How did you make your starter kit? I like to form one." I made it myself. So it's just digital assets. Some of the content in there is text. I have videos in there, um, and PDFs that I created. So I just created those myself. So the thing, if you're trying to like sell something, you have to have a place to sell it on and a place that takes payments. So what I use is Podia. You could sell memberships, digital products. You could sell courses, subscriptions, memberships. You could do everything with Podia. I have a link in the description if you want to check it out. So I recommend that if you're trying to potentially sell some kind of product or master class or something like that. I would definitely check out Podia. Imola said, "Why do you choose photography as a profession?" Um, I just love to do it, man. It's a creative outlet for me. Um, I'm real big on having just fun hobbies and creative outlets. I've always been a creative person. Growing up, I used to be an artist. I used to like to draw a lot. So it's just a creative outlet for me, and I love it, man. Then Gani said, "What photographers have you collaborated with?" Um, I don't know if you mean on YouTube. I haven't collaborated with anybody on YouTube. Um, so I'm not sure if that's what you mean. He said, "When did you know that you wanted to do photography?" Um, like I said earlier, I knew when my wife actually brought it up to me. So it wasn't something that I thought about, you know. She brought it up to me, and we were already kind of in that space taking photos for Instagram, social media. Why not we just start taking photos of clients, people? Um, and she mentioned it to me, and we started practicing, and we just kind of fell in love with it and roll with it after that. Terrence Smith said, "Do you have packages or sell every individual image? And do you allow your clients to keep all raw images?" So I do not give raw images. I don't do that. I do have packages. I'll talk about this more in the photography business starter kit. I kind of break down how I do my packages. And on Shootproof, I do have individual images. I have them priced, and I have also packages for extra images. So I may have a package of 3 extra images or 5 or something like that, or even the full gallery. So you can do stuff like that within Shootproof. That's why I love it, because you can upsell and set these things up easy. And it's helped us upsell and make extra money. Um, but yes, we do have packages, but we also within Shootproof upsell additional images, single images. Digani said, "Do you watch Shang-Chi?" I think that's the movie, right? The Marvel movie, I think. I haven't seen it yet. Um, man, I watched what's that movie called? Malignant yesterday. Has anyone seen that? That movie is twisted. The plot twist on that is crazy. If you're into horror movies, check out Malignant. It's not your typical horror movie. Really good though. Digani again with the question, y'all. Man, he needs some competition in the chat. Do we have anybody that can compete with him and drop a bunch of questions? Because he's killing it, man. I may have to give him something like free access to the starter kit or something, man. A free consult, something, because he's coming through. He said, "Have you taken pictures with the Google Pixel?" No, I haven't. But I've heard that that phone does have a really good camera. Um, Lawrence Moore, thanks for coming through. He said, "Just join. Do you do digital delivery only or hard copies?" Uh, so we just do digital. Everything is digital, and we send photos through Shootproof. Um, if anybody just joined or you don't know about Shootproof, you can check it out in the it should be in the linked in the comment the description box. What am I saying? Oh my god. Jay Phillips, thanks for coming through. He said, "Do you plan on bringing a speaker? Do you plan? I guess he said, do you plan on being a speaker at a conference? I'm an ambassador for photography, and you would be great as I have been following you. That would be dope. I've never done anything like that. So for those of y'all who don't know, I am super shy, super shy. That's why I love YouTube, because I can hide behind my camera, my screen. I don't have to be in person. Man, if I did a event speaking to a lot of people, I'd probably be super nervous, but I've gotten a lot better. I think I could do it. That would be cool. Um, Isaiah, thanks for coming through. He said, I literally just found your channel a couple of minutes ago. Man, that's crazy. What would you recommend for someone who doesn't know nothing about photography? Well, thanks. I'm glad you found my channel. Hopefully you get a lot of value from it. So I would recommend my channel. Can I do that? Can I plug myself? I would recommend my channel. Um, excuse me, man, I keep burping. I cater a lot to beginners, and I try to cover stuff that I struggle with, stuff that I wish I had knew, stuff that I felt like I couldn't find content about it. And not just your typical behind the scenes, right? For me personally, that content didn't really help me a lot. Like I went through a stage to where, I wanted to see what other people were doing, but I got over that quickly. I'm like, man, I need to learn the how to price. I need to learn how to pose. I need to learn about camera settings and all these things. Um, so I would recommend my channel. Not trying to be big headed or nothing like that. I just think you could get a lot of value from it. Then Gani said, good companies to do photo prints, canvas prints, photo books. So for prints, I use MPix. I like MPix. They make really good prints. Um, for albums, we use what is it called? I think it's called Legacy Albums. And they do everything for us, and this is for weddings. They do everything. The design, you have to pay for it, of course, but once again, you work this into your pricing. So they do everything. Jay Phillips said, "Do you plan on being a speaker?" Is what I meant. Um, it's not something I've really thought about. But I think it would be cool. But what is it in my plan? Do I plan on doing it? No. But would I be open to doing it potentially? Yes. Shy TV said, "Is it spelled Podio? Is it free? No, it's Podia. So it's Podia. It's in the description. I have a link. You may have to scroll towards the bottom, and it's not free, but it's just like with your business, you're gonna have to pay for subscriptions and services to help you get the job done, to deliver photos, to send galleries. I look at the same as far as like if you're a creator and you want to sell products, you're going to have to invest in something to host those products and to take payments, to deliver the content, things like that. Um, then Gani said, thoughts on how YouTube has grown, changed, and is evolving, especially from the creator's perspective. Man, I love that. I love that question. Um, man, y'all are sending a lot of questions. I appreciate it. I'm glad a lot of y'all came through. I thought people would be asleep or something. But my thoughts on YouTube. So YouTube has changed a lot. I've been on YouTube since 2016. I have two other channels. So I've been in the game for it's been a while. It's changed a lot. Um, I'm trying to think what has really changed. It's just so many like new features. I think now it's even harder to grow. Like they have the requirements now. Like you have to get monetized, you have to have I think 4,000 watch hours and then 1,000 subscribers. I don't think it used to be like that. So it seems like they're trying to weed out people who just aren't really serious, right? But just advice for anybody who's a youth. I don't know if some of y'all are YouTubers. Let me know in the chat if you plan on doing YouTube or if you have a channel. Drop your link. I'll check out your channel. But man, you'll be all right if you can bring value. Like just come with it, not expecting so much and having this entitled mindset of people need to subscribe and check out my channel. No, are you offering people value? Are you here to help people? Right? Like me doing this live, I'm doing this to help y'all, right? To answer your questions. I'm providing value. If you come from that perspective, if you come that way, I think you can grow on YouTube for sure. Jay Phillips said, "Do you plan on attending WPPI or any other photography, videography conference soon or next year to get a feel more so before becoming a speaker?" I was looking into some photography conferences. it's definitely something I want to do in the future. I want to get out there and network and connect and just learn more about the industry and see what's out there because I just need to get out more, and that will be a cool experience. So it's something that I'll probably be doing next year for sure. And if I do, I'll announce it. Maybe I could meet up with some of y'all and we could chat and just hang out a little. Lawrence Moore said, doing my first wedding in a week or so. Any tips on doing my first video slash photo shoot? So first off, congrats on your first wedding. That's huge. So tips for your first photo shoot, make sure the expectations are set. So that goes into client communication. Communicate with your clients, educate them, let them know what they can expect, right? Make sure that you have all the gear you need, and I would even have backups if that's something you can get. I would have backups just in case something breaks. Um, and I'm trying to think what else to prepare for your first photo shoot. The main thing is that communication with the client to make sure y'all are on the same page and they know what's going down and what to expect. That's the main thing. Um, Emiola said, which one you doing the most, shooting or editing? Um, Shoot, I don't do a lot of editing these days. I'm more of a person that I like to outsource. Um, so I know that, I'm trying to find ways to free up time, and outsourcing helps with that. So I would say I'm more of a shooter for sure. Garrett, thanks for coming through. Just added in, what did you start with to promote your business? So what I started with was social media. Man, in today's world, man, it's so easy to start a business. It's so easy to get your message out there. Like even with YouTube, if promoting your business on YouTube, getting your message out there if you want to be a creator. Social media has so many tools available for us to put ourselves out there, to market ourselves. I think if you're just starting out, social media is the best way and the easiest way to market yourself and to put your business or service out there. So I would lean in on social media. And man, I keep burping. I'll talk about this more in the photography business starter kit, which is linked in the description if you want to check it out. Raymond, thanks for coming through. He said, did I make a mistake investing in Olympus? I'll be honest with you, Raymond. I don't know a lot about them. I'm more of a Sony person, man. If y'all have any questions about Sony, I probably know about that, but not too much about other camera brands. But if anybody wants to answer that in the chat, definitely do that. If you use an iPhone, are you going to get the 13? Man, me and my wife are team Android. This is an old Galaxy S8 6. I like that new Galaxy's flip they got. Those are pretty cool. I'm not big on the iPhones. Dengani said, do you have a Patreon? No, I do not. I'm currently thinking of different things I could do for y'all to have more access to me, to where y'all can just ask questions and just another place that we can talk and chat and learn. Think about starting a Facebook group. Would that be something y'all are interested in? Let me know. Just a free Facebook group. Jaden, thanks for coming through. He said, just found you, brother. Do you use Westcott lighting? Is it normal to use it on a sunny day or a shady day? I want to buy the Westcott FJ400. I'm curious how angles work. First off, thanks for stopping by, and I'm glad to have you on the channel. I do not use Westcott, but they are solid. Westcott is really good. I'm big on Godox because that's all I've really used. And it is normal to use a light or strobe on a sunny day. I use them a lot on sunny days because it's too bright. So I like using a bringing in off-camera flash, tapping in a high-speed sync to lower that ambient light and create more of a different mood, and not having like blown out skies and stuff like that. So that's when I'm using flash on a sunny day, and it's perfect for a shady day, just when you need some extra light to illuminate your subject, bring up the exposure in your subject, and really make them stand out. So that's my best advice for that. But the Westcott FJ400 is a solid light. I think Manny Ortiz, I think he's used it or did a review about it or something like that. But I personally don't use it, but it is a good light. Isaiah said, when you first started, how did you get clients? So I got clients with social media. Started doing free shoots, start marketing on social media, posting all my work. That's the main thing, man. Like it's not super hard to get clients in the beginning. The main thing I would focus on is doing free work and building your portfolio, right? Because you want to have work to show people, right? They need to see, like, okay, he's done other shoots, right? He's pretty good at it. He's shot, a good amount of clients, right? So I would start focusing on building that portfolio. You can easily do that with free work or getting models. They'll shoot with you for free, right? And building up that portfolio so you have that work to show people. Now they trust you more to pay for your services. So I would utilize social media and free shoots if you're new and you're trying to get in the game. Um, I seen a comment. I ain't got to it yet. It made me laugh. Dengani said, "How often do you upgrade your gear?" Not very often. I'm not real big on buying a lot of gear. I think it's unnecessary. So at this stage, I'm not buying something unless I need it. Or as far as upgrading, that's if I feel like this camera or lens or whatever can't do the job I need it to anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, it's time for an upgrade. Like, it's just, the focus isn't fast anymore, or it's just time to upgrade. But I don't buy gear unless I need it for the most part. Then Gani again coming through. He said, "Do you use Google Workspace for productivity, especially with their new updates?" No, I do not use Google Workspace. Um, he said, "Do you watch or know about Gary Vee?" I feel like everyone does. I'm a huge Gary Vee fan. I like his directness. He's very just straight in your face, giving you the real. I like that. I like that, man. I feel like a lot of other people, they're kind of um more careful about what they say and not their truth. I like Gary Vee, man. He's just very real in your face, telling you what you need to hear. Maybe it ain't what you want to hear, but it's what you need to hear. So that's why I like him. Then Gani says, since you're Team Android, you should get the Pixel 6 when it drops. Man, once again, like I'm gonna stay with this until it freaking breaks, man. Um, I don't see the need to buy a new phone. Phones are crazy expensive too. They're crazy expensive. Then Gani said yes to the Facebook group. Okay. Anybody else? What y'all think about the free Facebook group? Where we could have our private community and help each other out. Let me know what y'all think about that. Terrence Smith said, "What computer do you edit on? And if you can give us an idea of the editing process." I have a custom PC. It's over here. Can I show this? Let me see. See if I could show you. So that's my custom PC. Now I did not put it together. I just did some research. I found this company and they put them together for you. And I was like, man, that's exactly what I need. um, and it's been great for me. It's a beast, man. That's something that you hear people talking about gear all the time. Like, if you want to be serious about like content creation, photography, and stuff like that, invest in a powerful, good computer. That's like one of the best investments you can make. Um, so yeah, I love my custom PC. As far as editing, I actually have a video about that on my channel where I take you through my whole editing process. So I would check out that video. Um, I could link it if I could find it. Let's see. Shot TV said, "Throw that Olympus away." Laugh my ass off. Man, that's messed up, man. That's cold blooded. Emola said, "Sony A7 good for studio photography." Man, any camera for the most part is good. Like even the A6400, I would use that for studio photography, and that's just a crop sensor camera. It's not even full frame. Um, just a solid camera, a solid lens. It don't have to be nothing crazy expensive. Jonathan De La Rosa, thanks for coming through, bro. I think I've seen you on a live before. Appreciate you for coming through. He said, big fan of the channel. Have you considered making your own prints at home? Um, I don't know. Do you mean like just printing out my own stuff? I do print out my own stuff. I have a photo right here, and I have photos in my closet. Just even around the house of work I printed out. I don't know if you mean that or something else, but I do print out my work, and I recommend people do that for sure. Um, Dingani said, "Do you have a business page on Facebook? I feel like Facebook isn't as big as it used to be for businesses like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube." Yes, we do have a business page. If you have a business, you need a Facebook business page, especially if you want to start running ads and stuff like that. You have to have, and I see somebody just asked that. You need a business page and then create an ad account, but you need the business page. Um, don't post on your personal page. See, what you do is post on the business page and share it to your personal page, and that can drive traffic to your business page. That's what I would recommend. Dave, what's going on? Thanks for coming through. First time catching a live. Hey, that's what's up, man. I love to see my people in here. I love to chat with y'all. I need to start doing more of these for sure. He said I would join up. Okay. Here's a personal question. Let us know if it was the first thing you thought when you first met your wife. Oh, that's a very personal question. The first thing I thought, well, see, me and my wife, we went to school together. So I already knew her, you know, and then we just started talking. So we already kind of knew each other. She said she used to think I was cute in high school. But we didn't talk like that in high school. But the first thing I thought, of course, she's beautiful, right? In my heart, my wife has a very good heart. Um, she's just a very sweet, kind soul. But she's also ruthless at the same time. And I love that about her. She's very upfront. And she's gonna tell you like it is. And she's changed me a lot because I used to be a person I wouldn't really speak up and tell it like it is and tell you like what you need to hear. And she's kind of instilled that in me, just being telling it like it is, not being no pushover and letting people know. She may be watching this live. Kimbo, you in the chat? Say what's up. Um, let's see what else we got. We're gonna wrap this up in a minute. So if y'all have any last um questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. Lawrence Moore said, "How do you advertise yourself to achieve full-time clientele?" So, Lawrence, I am not full-time, but I work a full-time job, and me and my wife do this on the side. As far as clientele, a lot of different things, but something we've really leaned into is paid advertising, like Google ads, Facebook ads, stuff like that. If you had to give up ML, what DSLR would you go with? That's a great question. I would have to think about that one. That's a good question, though. I would have to think about that one. I'm gonna come back to it. Um, then Gotti said, "Do you run ads?" Yes, I do run ads. Any of y'all run Facebook ads? Any of y'all want to learn how to set up ads? I could do that on a live if y'all want to see that. Braxton's World, thanks for coming through. He said, "Do you edit with a drawing tablet or iPad?" No, I don't. I edit on my desktop computer. Dave said, "My shoots tend to last forever. How long would you say your average shoot lasts?" Man, so the longer we've done this, the quicker. Um, Let me adjust this. Definitely, the quicker I become, man. On average, I'd say a shoot is around like 45 minutes. Now, if it's something just a bigger project or something like that, it may be an hour plus or something, but for the most part, around 45 minutes to an hour. Garrett said, "What is more important, Facebook or a third party page like Squarespace?" Man, I can't talk tonight. You definitely want a website. The website is the most important. I would recommend the Facebook page too, especially if you want to run ads. Um, but you need a website. You need that home for your business. Social media isn't the home for your business. You need a dedicated space that says everything about your business, that you can send to people, that you can market yourself, and that you can show value, and even just make yourself look like a legit professional. You need the website. Then Gandhi said, "Do you use Squarespace for setting up appointments and scheduling?" No, I don't. I don't use Squarespace. I use WordPress. Huge learning curve with WordPress, but I like it. But you're gonna have to take some time to learn how WordPress kind of works. Hustleaholic, thanks for coming through. He said, "What is your honest opinion on having a home studio at home versus renting a shop or space?" Great question. So I've never rented a space, but the my honest opinion on a studio at home is I like it. It's convenient, right? So we've even been doing, like I told you earlier, product photography in our home. I love that. It's convenient. We don't have to go out. So I love having a little space, and you don't need a big space. We shoot in the living room, in the garage. You just got to work with what you got, and I love it. And it's not costing us money. We just do it in our own home versus renting and all this stuff. So it's convenient. Then Gandhi said, thoughts on the photography community overall. Um, Man, that's a good question. I think it's a lot of toxicity. Is that a word? I think in the photography community, especially in a lot of these groups. I got to get out of some of these groups. Um, yeah, I like to keep it positive. Don't get in these toxic groups and buy into all that toxic stuff. It can definitely be toxic. But overall, um, I think it's cool. I think it's good and bad with every type of community. But the people I've talked to, the people y'all and stuff, I've had a good time with y'all in this community for sure. Garrett said he wants to know about the Facebook ads. Okay, I think I'm gonna put that on the list. We gonna go live. No video. We're gonna go live, and I'm gonna break down how to create your first ad so y'all can get that up and running. Um, Teaching ads would be a good live. Okay, we got a lot of people that want to learn about the ads. I can definitely do that. I can't pronounce that. I'm sorry, man. He said, thanks for this, man. Appreciate it. No problem, brother. I'm here to help. I love my people. Y'all helped me reach 10K. I couldn't have done that without y'all. I love my people. I gotta give back. I gotta keep showing up. I gotta keep giving value. Right. So I appreciate y'all. Dave said, I'm jealous, man. My shoots are like 2 hours plus. Man, I can't do that unless it's like a wedding or some kind of event. I'm trying to get in there, get it done, and get out. No flavor imaging. Do Google ads work? I just signed up, and if I spend 50, I get $100 credit. Yes, they do work. But just like, I'll be honest with y'all, maybe I could talk about this in the video. You have to have a strategy when you're running ads. A lot of people just run them and they don't have a strategy behind it, and they don't convert clients, right? You have to have a strategy behind it. Like, what's the goal with the ad? Do you have a place to send people? That's why even the website is important, right? So we run a lot of traffic ads and sent traffic to the website. You can do that with ads. So you got to have that in place to do it. They do work, but you have to know what you're doing, whether that be research or hiring a professional to do them for you. Um, Dave said, I know you have some horror stories with clients. I had a real bad experience last year. Everyone wanted to be the boss on the shoot. Does that happen often with you? Man, Dave, I don't have a lot of horror stories. I have had some situations that just weren't the best situations, but the bossy stuff, we deal with the most with weddings because you have to deal with the guests and stuff. They just, some of them, I need to bring my wife in here. She could tell y'all they don't be acting right. It's like they be wanting attention or something. So those are the toughest to deal with. Just people being rude and not necessarily bossy. I remember one wedding, we had one lady, she kept saying, oh, she was watching us pose the couple, and she was like recommending poses and stuff, and like just trying to get in our job. Like, no, we're the professionals. Like, why are you even saying what poses we should do and stuff? It's just stuff like that. I could make a whole video about it, honestly. Um, yeah, stuff like that. It makes me not even want to do weddings because it's like I don't have time for this. I don't. I don't have time for this, right? But yeah. Garrett said, "Have you done any real estate photography?" No, I haven't, but I've heard that is a very good field to get in and make a lot of money. I know full time, well, people I've seen who are full time real estate photographers. Um, I've personally never done it, but who knows? It may be something I try to get into the future. Right now, I'm really leaning in on branding in product photography. So that's my new thing that I'm learning, and I'm really trying to push and get better at that, and see where that goes. Let me get some water in my throat. Dingani said, "Do you ever plan on doing photography full time?" Um, I used to think all the time, like, "Oh, I gotta go full time. I gotta go full time." Um, I don't know. Now it's just more so wherever this takes me, man. I'm just doing the best I can right now. If that happens, that happens. If it doesn't, that's cool too. Um, but my goal right now is just to get better, really figure out where I want this to go in the future, um, and just keep leveling up. That's the goal right now for sure. All right, y'all. So we're gonna wrap up this live. Man, y'all really came through tonight. Lots of people came through. I feel like y'all asked some really good questions, and I hope y'all got a lot of value from this. I want to do this more. I like to chat with my community, see what's going on, see what I can help y'all with. Um, oh, last question. Then Gani said, favorite TV show. Man, my favorite show right now is I really been on Walking Dead a lot. In what's the other one? Ghost Power Book or something like that. It's like the new power. So those are my favorite right now. Um, but yeah, man, thank y'all for coming through, man. 10K, 10 freaking K, y'all. That is a big deal to me. Um, my subscribers are more than a number. And it's not even about the number, really. It's about the community I built of like-minded people, right? So that's what it's really about to me. Is helping. How can I help y'all? How can we help each other? How can we get better and reach our goals? Right. And I'm building this community, this big community of lots of people. And I love that. And I'm truly grateful and I appreciate y'all. Um, but before I go, just want to mention some things that y'all can check out. Let me go. I haven't been on here in a while. If you want, you can follow me on Instagram. I don't post on there no more. I'm really focused on YouTube. And I'm just trying to narrow down what I do. Even with photography, running a business, you can be doing too much. You need to focus. But I plan to start posting a little bit more on there. If you want to follow me, you could shoot me a message on Instagram if you want to talk to me. What else? I got to show y'all some other stuff. Don't go yet, y'all. My free guide, I have a free guide, should be linked in the description. It's 5 ways to get more clients. This is free. This is just free. So if y'all want to check that out, you could check that out. No pressure, right? And also, I have my starter kit. So this is my paid product. It's only $23. It's catered to beginner photographers. It's a lot of different stuff in there that can help you if you're just getting started. So if you want to check that out, you can check that out too. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Thank y'all again for coming through. Somebody said, let me see. Somebody said something. Hold on. Oh my goodness, I can't hide this. He said, schedule your next live makes it easy. I did schedule it. I posted it on my community tab. So I posted that. Maybe I need to post it further ahead of time, but I'll try to do better on that. I appreciate you for letting me know that. Edwin said, thanks for all the content. It has really helped me out. That's great to hear, Edwin. Shot TV, we appreciate this so much. Congrats on everything. I love seeing things like this. Always great to hear from different shooters. Of course, bro. I remember you sent me a message on Instagram, so it's good to see you here. Hustleaholic. Thank y'all. Y'all, my people. Like I said, we had 10K. Next goal is 100K. Let's keep growing this community and helping each other get better. Y'all have a great night. I will see y'all with my next video next week. And y'all take care. Peace.